Good day to all, welcome to Extreme Recap. Sebastian Schlang von Earth, a gentleman, is shown to us in the first scene. Teller at a Potsdam bank. He feels stuck in Germany in his monotonous daily routine, but is particularly interested in safe cracking. He is currently putting together a video for his brand new YouTube channel. He tells a captivating story about Hans Wagner, a well-known locksmith, during the video, who liberated and gathered Amaron by crafting a set of 4 safes inspired by and named after the 4 operas in the Ring cycle, the Rheingold, the Valkyrie, and the Sig. Amaron Wagner appears to have designed these safes in such a way that if anyone tried to force them open, the contents would be destroyed. After finishing the last safe, he sealed himself in it for good. His co-workers tried their best to free him, but they were unsuccessful. Wagner also passed away inside the Gotthard Amerang. It's a lot of fun to say. The safe in the end. There are persistent rumors that his unopened book was dumped into the ocean as his final resting place right now. Where are the first 3 safes located? However, none of them are certain that Sebastian is simply fabricating this nonsense for publicity or that it remains one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Based on this conclusion, the video is uploaded by Sebastian to his YouTube channel. Despite being a lockpicking genius, it turns out that his content received little attention. He has not yet broken the YouTube algorithm. He closes his laptop and gets ready for another mundane workday later. Sebastian comes across news of a sudden outbreak of zombies in the United States while he is assisting a disgruntled customer in the bank. He also noticed that the person he was helping was acting like a zombie. As a result, he promptly grants her request and sends her away. Sebastian receives his first view and comment on his most recent YouTube video from an unidentified individual during his lunch break. The more unusual welcomes him to feature his abilities at a particular area, giving a location and a secret word establishment charmed. Sebastian chooses to visit the assigned spot at the named time. He meets upon reaching the location. He enters the dark warehouse and is welcomed as the 7th participant in a safe cracking competition by the guard, who grants him access after verifying the password. Sebastian excels in every round and ultimately wins, despite his initial confusion. He sees a beautiful woman named Gwendolyn smiling at him as the crowd cheers for him. Here, it is made clear that Gwendolyn is a well-known thief who got her start in the criminal world when she was just 6 years old. She is capable of swiftly stealing expensive items like jewelry. She is a wanted criminal at the moment. When Sebastian unexpectedly meets Gwendolyn the following day, he proceeds with his usual routine. Over a cup of coffee, they talk. Gwendolyn also quickly discloses that she was the one who commented on his YouTube video. She then gets right to the point and lays out her plan to rob Wagner's 3 safes. Due to his unparalleled knowledge, Gwendolyn wants Sebastian to join her team as the safe cracker. Examine the VARC. She goes on to explain that they only have 96 hours before the safes are taken out of service. Sebastian is taken aback when he hears all of this, but Gwendolyn reassures him that this is the ideal opportunity for him to escape his monotonous life. After that, she heads out of the cafe, but not before giving him her business card for the night. Sebastian appears to be debating the issue for hours. He thinks the plan is too risky on one hand, but on the other, he wants to experience the thrill of breaking the law. He ultimately selects the second alternative. He therefore moves toward the given address. Gwendolyn introduces him to the crew upon his arrival, which includes Karina Dominguez, a skilled hacker, the gunman, Brad Cage, and the getaway driver, Roof. Get right to work, and Karina gives them information about the safes, explaining that each of the 3 is owned by a billionaire by the name of Bly and can be found in various regions of the world. The team starts their first heist in Paris, aiming for the Rheingold, as they have no time to waste. The scene then shifts, and shifts again. I can say the words in all of these other languages, but not shifts. Following their prearranged plan, the scene shifts to the actual robbery process. Sebastian sneaks into the bank first, hiding in the restroom. Gwendolyn enters straightaway and solicitations admittance to the storage doled out to a misleading name. After that, Karina enters to cause a commotion that diverts the staff's attention away from Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn grabbed Sebastian from his hiding place at this moment, and the 2 of them made their way to the legendary Rheingold safe. When Sebastian comes face to face with the legendary safe, he talks to it for a while. Greetings, mine shots. However, once he has finished, he quickly and skillfully begins working on the lock and opens it. They start to collect the money after a brief moment of celebration. Sebastian worries about carrying such a large sum, but Gwendolyn reminds him that their goal is not just to accumulate a lot of money. Rather, they want to crack the Wagner safes, which are said to be impregnable, and thus become legends. Sebastian is able to get away with the money thanks to Brad's final bank distraction. Sebastian gains new confidence as a result of the successful operation. He also feels valued for the first time in his life. We see France in the following scene. During a meeting of Interpol officers, an agent by the name of Delacroix investigates the specifics of the Rheingold heist. It turns out that Brad and Gwendolyn have been evading capture in their most recent encounter despite Delacroix's constant pursuit for years. Brad was so close to being captured by Delacroix. However, they then shot him and fled. Delacroix possesses a new safecracker. Furthermore, they are plotting to focus on the two excess safes, giving him and his group 2 additional opportunities to catch them. The crew, on the other hand, is content to celebrate their successful first heist at their hideout. Karina approaches Sebastian and invites him to a sexual encounter amid the festivities. But he says no. Karina becomes slightly envious when he says he is only interested in Gwendolyn after hearing this. She tells her that Gwendolyn is dating Brad, but they are having a rough time right now. Soon thereafter, Sebastian goes to Gwendolyn and starts a discussion, causing them to discuss their respective pasts openly. Sebastian imparts how his interest to safe breaking put him aside from different children in his area. Gwendolyn talks about her problems with her wealthy family and her decision to live on her own, but Brad sees them together and gets really mad. The crew arrives in Prague the following day for their second robbery, this time targeting the Valkyrie. However, Delacroix and his team have already arrived without their knowledge, and they have intensified security measures after practicing. Karina clears Fashion's path by hacking into the banking system after he enters the bank pretending to be an employee. He is then directed toward the vault, where Gwendolyn is on his guard. The security guards become suspicious as they observe Sebastian vanish from the cameras during this time. Gwendolyn, however, uses her greatest combat moves to skillfully bring them down when they confront her near the elevator. The two then move toward the safe, prepared to begin the cracking. Delacroix, on the other hand, is unable to pinpoint the exact issue, but he is aware that something is off. He decides to go to the bank because his instincts have him intrigued. But when he gets to the safe, he is shocked to find that it doesn't have the Valkyrie safe in it. He frantically inquires about it with the bank manager, who responds that the Valkyrie had been moved to a different bank for safety. This indicates that Delacroix and his team have misplaced themselves. Therefore, they immediately board their vehicles and rush to apprehend the thieves. The security guard, on the other hand, who noticed flaws in the CCTV footage. However, this forces the crew to implement Plan B, which results in the closure of all bank entrances. As a result, Brad enters the building in the disguise of a masked robber. Debilitating the watchman with sedatives to give Sebastian and Gwendolyn extra time seeing the disturbance, a bank monitor sets off the cautioning the specialists and fixing off all potential resources. Amidst this, Sebastian figures out how to effectively break the Valkyrie, yet with a couple of unsteady minutes. He gives Gwendolyn a tight hug and almost kisses her as he is overwhelmed by the accomplishment. However, Karina's radio communication interrupts their intimate moment, urging them to provide a status update so that Brad can leave the bank. Brad makes an attempt to leave after being given permission, but a security guard shoots him in the shoulder. Despite this, he manages to sneak out through a window and into the getaway van, where he meets Ralph and Karina. Soon after that, Delacroix and his team arrive at the scene shortly after Sebastian and Gwendolyn exit the bank. Brad extends as the two sprint toward the waiting van. Is a helping hand that draws Gwendolyn inside, but motivated by lust. He pushes Sebastian away with force, leaving him to go to the police. How will you crack the third safe, stupid ass? Sebastian now finds that the police are following him. As a result, he grabs a bicycle quickly and makes a run for it. He maneuvers through the town's narrow streets and dark corners to get onto a train and escapes capture in some way. However, he is overcome by a profound sense of betrayal, despite his relief at having been able to escape in the excitement of his accomplishments. Brad and Gwendolyn were having a heated argument inside the van at the same time. Brad argues that they had planned to leave Sebastian after the heist to justify his actions. Anyway. Additionally, he asserts that they are no longer required to carry out the Siegfried heist, because they have billions of dollars. Gwendolyn, on the other hand, who had begun to like Sebastian at this point, becomes enraged and decides to leave the van. She rejects Brad's attempt to keep her from confessing his love for her, and promptly leaves. Karina joins her as well. Additionally, in order to break through the siege, the two make the decision to locate Sebastian. In the subsequent scene, Sebastian is safe and sound and returns home to find the girls waiting for him. They express their regret for their betrayal. Gwendolyn explains that Ralph and Brad only wanted money from the heist, in contrast to the three of them, whose goal was to become legendary thieves. She suggests that they team up to go after the Sig because she is famous for breaking into the Wagner safes. Freed. Sebastian is initially wary because he is concerned that the girls will once more betray him. However, he accepts Gwendolyn's assurance that she will never leave his side. The trio then travels to St. Moritz, Switzerland, where a casino houses the Siegfried. Delacour takes a more cautious approach this time, and decides to wait for the alarms to go off before going after Gwendolyn's crew. He is absolutely determined to prevent them from fleeing, as they have in the past. Because of this, Delacour and his team remain patient throughout the 8-hour wait for the safe from the casino to be taken out of service. Throughout this time, the heist is scheduled for 5 a.m., according to a radio conversation between Karina and Sebastian that the Delacroix team intercepts. They wait patiently and precisely enter the building at 5 a.m. to find that the safe has already been moved. Delacour learns from this 90 minutes earlier that the safe has already been stolen and that Karina intentionally leaked their communication to deceive his team. We also see Sebastian and Gwendolyn on a truck together, beginning the process of breaking the safe. Brad and Roll also leave the casino at the same time with the intention of stealing money from their former crew. They begin their pursuit of Gwendolyn after using her phone to locate her. Karina tries to stop them while she is still outside the casino, but Delacroix and his team surround her instead. She does, however, manage to let Gwendolyn know about Brad in the truck before surrendering. Sebastian effectively opens each of the 7 locks of the Sig, eventually breaking it open. Both of them are overjoyed by this. The money is then packed by them. However, Brad suddenly appears and interrupts them. He tries to shoot Sebastian with his gun. Fortunately, however, that breaks down. Gwendolyn reveals that she previously tampered with Brad's weapon out of concern that he might harm someone. After that, she goes back to her own working gun and takes control of the situation by holding Brad and Ralph hostage with a gun. She finally chains the bad guys to the truck and takes off with Sebastian. Before getting out of the car, Gwendolyn and Sebastian reach a boat in accordance with their escape strategy. Sebastian expresses his affection for Gwendolyn with nervousness, which she responds to with a kiss. Delacour arrives shortly thereafter, armed and ready, is in place to definitively lock them up. Gwendolyn, on the other hand, who is also pointing a gun at him, does not give up and talks to the officer. She makes the proposition that she will surrender subject to Sebastian's release. Delacour hesitantly concurs, and Gwendolyn educates Sebastian to leave. She assures him that they will meet up and go after him. When she is released, we must band together with a heavy heart. With the hope of one day seeing Gwendolyn again, Sebastian boards the boat. The situation then shifts to a later time, and Sebastian is revealed to be the proprietor of the Gwendolyn, a locksmith shop. A blueprint of Gata is presented to Sebastian's store by 2 customers one day. Damon, inviting him to participate in the final heist with their team. Sebastian responds with a simple grin, indicating his readiness to participate in the final robbery. Turn on notifications, please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.